is on the graph challenge on traffic management. So this is the outline of my presentation today. For the situation, I'd like to focus on me being a data scientist, and Grab has given me the task to find a way to maximize revenue for their ride-hailing services. So how do I do this? My first objective is to determine the time when areas have a high demand. So by analyzing this, we want to know if there are any hotspots where there's a consistently high demand, and if there are any areas of interest that we can improve on. And next, we want to create a time series model to predict the travel demand of each location. We have two questions here, which is there a trend to consider, and is there a seasonality in my data? So how did I do this? First, I did some data preparation, did some EDA, and created the time series model. So first, for data preparation, my data source was from traffic management. It contained four fields: firstly, geohash, date, timestamp, and demand. So of course, I cannot analyze this raw, so I did some preparation. So in detail, the day attribute has 61 consecutive days of 15-minute intervals. So in total, I have 5,856 data points for 1,329 locations. So when I plotted this area into the data frame seen on the top left, I noticed that there were a lot of locations with missing data. However, I looked at the average demand for these locations, and it seemed that they have low demand. So I just assumed that the values that are missing are 0. So next, I did some exploratory data analysis. So here, I converted the geohash to latitude and longitude and plotted it on a map, and I found out that it was in the middle of the sea. So from here, we won't know where the hotspots are, like hotspots meaning residential or commercial areas wherein most of the travel demand would be coming from. So I just plotted the average travel demand, which is the color of the points, and longitude, latitude. So we see here that from this graph, we can observe that there are at least 3 hotspots that are most probably residential or commercial areas. So next, we can see that this is a more granular view wherein the colors of the plot changes. So this means that the highlighted parts a while ago are actually areas of interest, since these have these areas have high demand. So, however, we also know that, like from our own experience, that travel also changes depending on the day of the week. So I decided to plot it like this. And we can notice that F, which is the brown one, is probably Sunday, because like it has low demand when like no one really travels on that day. So this suggests that we have weekly seasonality instead of our daily seasonality, because the demand for each day is different. So next, I created some time series models. So I mainly use 2. So the first is I used FP Profit with regressors and without regressors, and the other one is the whole Winters model. So these are my key findings. For the locations with high demand, there are only certain areas where there is consistently high demand, and then this is what I highlighted a while ago. So this implies that the Grab ride-hailing services are in demand only in specific areas. So why is this important to know, specifically in the Philippines context? As mentioned a while ago, LTFRB only allows a certain number of TNBs to operate in the Philippines, so the supply doesn't meet the demand. So here, in a way, it's better to know where to deploy Grab cars, because there's a limited supply that has to meet the demand of the people. So next, the trend and seasonality. So there is a daily and weekly seasonality, and then there's a weekly seasonality, and there's an increasing trend towards the end of the second month. So since the data is worth 2 months, we can see that there's an increasing trend, and then from the seasonal component, there is a seasonality. And so my last, I did 3 time series models, and I found out that the whole Winters model is the best out of the 3 of them. And can see here why. So FB profit, these are the parameters. For each type of model, these are the parameters that I use. And then due to time constraints and the RAM of my laptop, these are the sum of the RMSEs for only 100 locations. So these 100 locations are the ones with the highest average demand. And we see that the whole winters model has the lowest, which is 14.3. So if we look at a single location, we see that the RMSE for the first one is 0.13, and then the second one is 0.12, and for the whole winters, 0.1148. So for my recommendations, since my problem was to maximize revenue, it's important to take note of the business model of Grab. So they earn through the fares. So 20% of the fare that you give to them, that you pay your drivers, goes to Grab. So naturally, if there's a high demand, we want to deploy all of our cars in a specific area. However, it's not just as simple as that, because there's what we call traffic cost. Because when, of course, there's a high demand, we have traffic congestion. And if there's traffic congestion, for example, we deploy one car in an area where the fare is 500, but we can deploy this car at a different area with lower traffic congestion, and they can get like 3 more number of rides in a specific time period. So here my suggestion is to reroute cars. So this has something to do with operations, I guess, like finding a way to make other areas of like average demand more attractive to drivers. So maybe set incentives for drivers to go into less dense areas. So yeah, so another recommendation I can give is to improve the model. So my data only consisted of the travel demand of Grab. So it would be nice to consider like other regressors such as bus routes or school hours that would affect the traffic, or the availability of MRT or LRT and such. And then also consider other models such as neural networks or others like XGBoost that I haven't tried. So that's all.
Can we just go back? Sorry.
Thank you. I just say the time. Time is 7:50.
Okay.
Can we just go back to the data facts, please?